Hi, everyone. Jacqueline Kuhn here with JacquelineKuhn.com, powered by Angels, for a March Angels and Astrology video update. I haven't posted for a while, so for those subscribers, my apologies. I have just recovered from a pretty nasty flu, so I'm going to actually talk about two transits that have happened in the past week to cover them in one video instead of two separate ones. We do have six different archangels that can be called in and invoked during the two placements that I'm going to talk about, which is Mars and Venus. So we will be talking about archangels Zadkiel, Ariel, Chamuel, Sandalphon, Uriel, and Michael when we speak about these two placements. So a little bit more about me for those of you that don't know me or haven't watched my videos before. I teach and believe in and invoke in my own personal life 15 archangels. Three of them that you can see at the top of this picture, Michael, Raphael, and Haniel, are overseers of the archangels, and they stand alone and they have uber powers, the protector, the healer, the divine intuition. And then the other archangels I align with zodiac signs. Now, some people may align them a little differently than I do, and that's up to them. This is not like there's a one way to do it. The way I do it is I match their energy and their resonance with what I believe is the energies of that zodiac sign. And so while each archangel has a zodiac sign they are tied to, when planets move into a sign, it doesn't always necessarily mean that one archangel is going to resonate with the change in that energy. And that is why today, while it's Mars and Venus in Aries and Pisces, we have more than just Ariel and Sandalphon we're going to be talking about, because I want you to learn about the resonance of these archangels, what gifts they can bring to you, and how you can call upon them when the energy of the astrology changes the energy on this earth. Think of it as the astrology, excuse me, the astrology is the science and the roadmap of what the energy is being presented, and the archangels are your guides, your protectors, and your supporters to working through and moving through that energy with grace, ease, and peace. So this is the current planetary placements. The sun is in Pisces. At the moment, I'm in the Chicago suburban area. The moon is in Sagittarius today. Mercury is still retrograde in Pisces. And Venus has moved into Aries. It moved into Aries last week, as did Mars move into Pisces last week. So I will be talking in this particular video about the Venus Aries and Mars Pisces transits and what that means. And then we have Jupiter and Saturn and Uranus and Neptune and Pluto that are all where they have been for quite a while. Although later this week, you will see that Jupiter will be moving to a direct position, and I will be landing a video for that in the next couple of days because that's pretty big energy. We also have some really big energy coming at the end of the month with Uranus making a move into Gemini. It hasn't been there since 1941. So make sure you subscribe and get notifications because I will put a video out a couple of days ahead of time about that one so that you can understand the magnitude of that change and how to work through it. Remember, the astrology is the change in energy and what we expect to happen from that energetic change. And the archangels are there to help guide us, support us, protect us as we move through the energy and to help us make it in ease and actually be able to take the gifts that the astrological placements can provide us. I always like to think of things as, yeah, there's some downside and there are some things to watch for, but what are those gifts? If we work through this energy in the best way possible, what gifts will we be able to receive? And with that, we're going to first talk about Mars moving to Pisces from from Aquarius. Now, moving into Pisces from where it was in Aquarius is really about going from intellectual thought, pushing and rebelling on, Mars is action, Mars is the god of war, right? The conflict. So it's an intellectual versus emotional and spiritual, right? Pisces is very emotional and spiritual, and Aquarius is really more about thinking. So it's from a thinking to a feeling. It's really taking action in your life, leveraging your intuition from a perspective of compassion, using your imagination, and being able to let go spiritually and surrender to the divine. So when you think about how we move through the energy when Mars is in Pisces, it's about last season, Aquarius season, maybe you say, I need to understand this. You intellectually want to understand it. Whereas now in Pisces is, I need to feel this. And this is where emotional baggage may show up. You may feel that people from the past are showing up. Your dreams may be bringing up issues that you thought were resolved. And so instead of intellectually understanding it, Pisces is asking you to feel your way through it. Instead of taking the perspective of let's do something and interrupt and disrupt the system, let's, shake it up a bit and make this change. It moves into a gentler change feeling of let's dissolve what no longer serves, right? If it no longer serves us, let's just dissolve it. Let's let go of it. Let's not shake it up and change it. Let's take the initiative to compassionately release it. I used to call this back when we did recruiting, the gentle release message. When you didn't get the job, it was the gentle release message. And so that's really what this energy is calling you for, to gently release what no longer serves, as opposed to actively disrupt it. And then it's from a perspective of being fiercely independent at all cost to really being aligned with your purpose through intuition. It's like, okay, I don't have to be alone. I am not in this alone. I just need to be aligned with something bigger than I am. I need to rely on my intuition, and I have to be aligned with my purpose. So instead of forging forward by yourself independently, it's really bringing to light what you need to do to be within your own soul's purpose. And it's really about accepting that divine timing, from focusing on getting it done and how should I get it done and how do I need to get it done and creating those plans. It's now saying, okay, maybe the when is not completely in my control. And let's accept that. Let's continue to do what we need to do to get things done. But if the results aren't exactly when and what I wanted, accept that divine timing is at place, right? That's that spiritual piece of it. There's a big spiritual component to Pisces. And then it's really from change due to activism and being forceful in trying to force the change happening and vocal about it, to doing so with compassion and finding peace, as opposed to finding revolution, right? It's peace at where you are, what is going on, finding that center of peace, and again, accepting things that you cannot change for the way they need to be, and the timing of the divine that can give you that peace of, okay, it's the way it should be right now, and I can be at peace with that. Pisces is really big on spiritual and emotional sort of acceptance, and giving yourself up to the creator God source, right? So the gift, if you think about the gift of Mars and Pisces, is about flow. You're not pushing your way. You're not pushing up the hill. You're kind of going with the motions. You're flowing down the river. You're in that raft. And it could be choppy at times, but you're putting your balance, you're, working with your oars, you're flowing with it. You're becoming one with the energy to flow through it as opposed to going against it. And yes, there are some challenges. You need to do so without losing yourself, right? There are some challenges because this isn't easy energy, especially if you have, high earth signs. If you're very logical, if you're very scientific, right? This is kind of hard because this is saying you need to lean into your emotion a little better and you need to trust the spiritual elements. And some people have a difficult time doing that. But this is also a time when if you give up to the divine, if you give, let go, let God, the synchronicities will occur and breakthroughs happen. March 2nd to April 9th is a big period for breakthroughs. I've even talked to some colleagues of mine that were in a mastermind together, and we're all beginning to see breakthroughs. We're all beginning to see things that we've been working on for a while come to light. So when you accept the gifts of Mars and Pisces and stop trying to go, swim upstream, right? Go against it, allow the synchronicities to occur, and it's amazing what breakthroughs will happen. And because of all of this different energy, there are four, excuse me, residuals from the flu. There are four archangels that will help us during this energetic period. We have Sandalphon, Zadkiel, Chamuel, and Ariel, all to rely upon. Now, Sandalphon is all things Pisces, right? He is the archangel tied to Pisces because he's about spiritual prayer, and lightening things up with arts and music particularly. And so he can help with the Mars Pisces energy to act from intuition, right? Rather than impulse. Like don't make a reaction, don't make a knee jerk. Does this intuitively feel right? Even if you may not have all the answers, does it feel right? And instead of getting angry immediately, Mars is aggression. And so instead of getting angry at someone who may be aggressive towards you or get aggressive to others, lean into compassion. A little empathy goes a long way. How is where's that other person coming from? What are they feeling? And why might they be saying that right now? And then really, kind of think about moving like a prayer, because a prayer is very fluid. It's a request. It's not a demand, right? It's coming from the heart. And so if you think about the qualities of a prayer, and moving through this energy like that, that is what Sandalphon can bring to make the best of the gifts that Pisces has to offer. We have Chamuel, who is all really about helping us leading with love, not force, right? We're not forcing it to happen. We want it to happen with love and emotional surrender. But because he is the archangel for Taurus, he is also the archangel to help us find peace. And so he can help us with that emotional surrender without losing ourselves. We can still continue to work our plan and plan our work and trust and have faith that the results will happen with divine timing. And we don't have to lose ourselves because of it. We don't have to change who we are to do that. And then instead of going, yeah, I got this, right? Finding peace in the resolution, right? It's not a combat, right? Mars is, is the god of war, right? Mars is a little combative, but this isn't a combat. This is finding a place of peace. And Chamuel can absolutely do that. Zadkiel is the archangel for excuse me, for Gemini. And his role right now in this energy can help really turning that pain into wisdom. You know how I said that there may be some emotional baggage that arises, past relationships. He can help you release that resentment. He can help you turn any conflict you might have or be dealing with into empathy. And being empathetic with someone and understand empathetic means you can understand it from their point of view. You may not agree, you may not solve something, but you're looking at it from their point of view to come to an understanding. Um, so Zadkiel can help you when those times arise during this transit where those old wounds may come up, particularly if there's some resentment from actions of the past, someone who you felt hurt you or stepped over you or did something, like that, like batted with you and then like they won. You may have resentment to that, and so he can help you kind of release that and learn from it. And last but certainly not least, it's Ariel. And she is our archangel for really our archangel Mother Earth, right? She is Mother Earth. She helps us flow with the flow of the earth. And in Pisces, it's the water, it's the river. And so helping us move with that current, not against it, helping us to trust in that divine timing and acting through intuition and synchronicity and recognize when those synchronicities happen. Because oftentimes we may not recognize the synchronicity and give it enough credit, right? Give enough gratitude to that synchronicity. And the more gratitude we give to them, the more of them that will occur. So this is how we can work in this next month through some of the energy changes of Mars moving into Pisces. I have created a prayer here. You can feel free to pause the video at this point, take a page shot, bookmark it, whatever. This is a combined prayer to all four of these archangels to help guide you through this Mars and Pisces energy. And so now we just want to talk about Venus in Aries. Venus moved into Aries on March 6th and will remain there until approximately the end of April, before we have this big energy on April 25th from Uranus. So really, this is an interesting time because Venus is the first planet to move into Aries from Pisces. And so this is going from that, from Venus, love, relationships, from that dreamer kind of idealistic, moving with the flow to initiator, right? So this is a little more action now. Venus is the first planet to move into this Aries energy. And it really is, if you think about it, when you were in Pisces, you were, feeling through a relationship. But in Aries, you take action. And so it's like I'm going from like I have here, I feel you, to I choose me. It doesn't mean I love you any less, but I have to choose me, right? It goes from let's merge, which is a softer way of having two people join, to let's begin, let's start this, right? We're not merging. We are starting our path together. Merging is kind of like a little more like a blending approach, and like, no, this is we're on the path, we're going, we're moving forward. And then that softness of Pisces moves to crisp sharpness, right? You do have to watch yourself with this softness to sharpness energy, especially in relationships, because depending on some of your other planets, you could have a sharp tongue, and this Venus in Aries could actually exacerbate it. And so maybe you might say things that your partner might feel is harsh. So you want to be careful with the sharpness energy that Venus in Aries brings, because for some of you, you might be saying things in a manner that could be hurtful when maybe you don't mean it to be, or maybe taken the wrong way, because also remember, Mercury is still retrograde. And Mercury is also communications. And so you just kind of want to make sure that this Venus in Aries doesn't, amplify any sharpness or criticality that you may have toward your partner or partners. And then it goes from compassion to clarity. And the way I want to explain this is you know, you go from having compassion for what somebody is going through to, okay, I get it. I'm ready to move on. I have clarity. I know where you sit. I know where you stand. I choose me. We can begin. I can leave the feelings behind because I now know where I need to go, right? This is for those who may be breaking up relationships or moving to a new phase of a relationship, where maybe you were feeling a little more compassionate about it and like trying to help somebody through something. Well, now you have the clarity to take that action, to know exactly what you need to do that you were dealing with. And you go from dreaming about it, from fantasy, from, oh, I wish I had this, I want to have it, to how do I get it? Right? You're not thinking and dreaming, you're taking action. Aries is an action sign, right? So you're taking action to create the relationships and the love that you deserve, that you want, you deserve, you choose you're going for it, and you are letting everybody understand exactly where you sit. And so the gift of Venus and Aries is really rediscovering who you are, what you want, your desires, how, what level of independence you want, how to be your own person, and having the courage. And this is so important. And this is also where Archangel Ariel steps in as the archangel for Aries, the courage to choose what lights you up. I really want you to take a look and think about that. So even you may have not chosen to do what truly makes you happy, what really, gets you excited every day. You may have put that on the back burner for whatever reason. But the gift of Venus and Aries is choosing you and making sure that you show up and have the courage to tell people and ask people to do things for you to the way you would like them to be done, and the courage to break things off when they're no longer working, or to ask for changes when you need some, if you're taking on more of a burden and it's really not up to you, or you want to be able to have one day a week to go do that class that lights you up, right? It's having the courage to do you. So Venus in Aries is all about really making sure you are doing you, because we have to remember that no matter what relationship that we're in, if we aren't doing ourselves, if we don't love ourselves, if we're not taking care of ourselves and choosing ourselves, we are going to be a great partner. And I can't think of the word I'm thinking about right now, but a less than of a partner for our partners. We can't be there for someone else if we're not there for ourselves. So that's really what the gift of Venus and Aries is all about. And giving the different levels, we of course have Archangel Ariel. She is all things Aries, but we also have Michael and Chamuel and Uriel here. So Ariel is, reclaiming who you are, standing boldly in your worth, making sure that as we go through this energy and as you're grabbing what it is that makes you you, you're also understanding that you're worthy of love, you're worthy of being paid what you're worth, you're worthy of what it is that you desire. Um, Samuel, who is all about finding, right? He's about peace, he's about finding things, and he's about finding relationships that honor your truth, that honor who you are, and helping you release your people-pleasing, behaviors. Kind of, you're not honoring yourself if you're doing things just to please others. It's actually doing a huge disservice to you and others because you're not 100% authentic you. And then you have Michael, who is all courage, right? Michael is our protector, but he's also the warrior. He's that warrior that stands up for other people, and he can help you choose yourself and speak your truth. When you need to say something and have the courage to speak up, Michael can be there with his sword and shield to protect you, and make sure that you feel protected and safe when speaking up. And Uriel, the Archangel of Light, he can actually help you see your path clearly, right? Light up that next step and helping you know what you want instantly so that you can go get it. You can, achieve what you need to do, find that relationship, change your relationship, fix your relationships, right? So that you can get to that next step and really have the kind of relationships that are worthy, that you deserve. And I created a prayer to the Archangels. This is again a group prayer to Ariel, Michael, Chamuel, and Uriel. Please bookmark the page, uh, take a screenshot of it, whatever you need to have this front and center for yourself. I thank you once again for joining me. If you are not a subscriber, please do so. We are on our mission to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of March, and we are so, so close. It's a huge milestone in my journey, particularly because all of this content comes for free to you, and the benefit I get and the value I get is to have you all spread the word and know that this is valuable to you and potentially others. So please subscribe if you don't. Tell your friends, families, neighbors, dog, etc., to become subscribers. I do have a couple of webinars coming up. One on March 17th on living your soul's purpose. You can find information about that on my website. And all my services are available on the website, or please just ping me for a consultation. Put any questions in the comments. I do check them on a regular basis, and I am here for you to answer any questions you have. So in the next couple of days, look for the next video. Until then, be at peace. Bye for now.